Hi, everyone. Thanks for taking your time and coming to this talk. Today we'll talk about some Dockerizing Appium server stuff, and later I will show also how to Dockerize the emulators. Have you been in the previous talk in this room with Diego? I guess there will be some similar stuff, and Diego was talking about the infrastructure. I will present how to do it in local machines, some part of it, and I guess I will present some solutions from the Diego's projects that he was contributing. So my name is Sargis. This is my second time in Bangalore. After 3 years, I returned back to this wonderful Indian city. Right now I'm working for the PixArt, which is a creative photo editing tool, which has more than 137 millions active users per month. And we are dealing with the automation stuff, and this is one of the solutions that we are trying to implement in our company also to have a better automation in terms of the smooth releases. Right now, I'm leading the whole quality assurance team in the PixArt, and I have the director of the quality assurance position there. So let's go started. Today's agenda is we'll talk about a bit introduction, why actually we need, what is the purpose of doing this stuff. We'll get similar with the Appium Docker. We'll run tests on a real device using the Dockerized Appium server. We'll set up it with a Docker compose file to make it easier. Rather, we will use Android emulator inside the Docker. I will show some tricks, how to connect via Wi-Fi or how to simulate the SMS. And then in the end, we'll connect it to the Selenium hub and with the host. And then we'll run the tests through the Docker, Appium Docker and the emulator inside the Docker. We'll connect everything together and we'll run everything Dockerized. And then I hope we'll have short time for the question and answer. If we'll not manage, just ping me outside. And also, I would like to offer you, if you have a question in the middle, just raise your hand. I will stop. We'll talk about the question and later we'll continue. Because there are a lot of technical stuff and better to ping me on the spot instead of waiting in the end. So the worst case that I will do it will be I will talk about that a bit later. So usually what's happening. So actually why we need this. This is one of the testing pyramids. I had the testing pyramid already, but this one is a bit different. This is more related to the mobile testing one. And if you take a look at this pyramid, you will see that there is one part here, like the simulators and emulators should be more than the real devices and the devices. This is also about talking about shifting left. So as early we are finding the bugs, as cheaper there are. So this is also the one. So if we have a test on the simulators and we are running them continuously and more frequently, we'll catch the bugs more in the left part instead of. So today we will talk about this part, about the simulators and the emulators, how we can organize this part. This is all about the local environment, so because there are other options like Journey Motion that you can use, but this is already like cloud services. So today we are talking about the local ones. So this will help us to get the quick setup of the automation environment. We will speed up our Appium tests. We'll automate the steps done by automatically, and we will be able to run on a real device and on emulators. So what is the Appium? I will skip this one because if you are here, everyone are here, we are know the basic of what is the Appium, what it's doing actually, how it's doing. And this is the simple high-level architecture of how is Appium working. There's a test runner. There is Appium ADB, and it's connected to the device via USB. So actually what we are doing with this solution, we taking this part and putting it inside a Docker container. Yeah. And this part like is the ADB with the Appium living in a container. We just connect it to the test runner and then to the device. Actually, this part also could be Dockerized, so it can be living another Docker container. This one's in another Docker container. We're just connecting them each other. Yep. So there is one thing that you need to have Linux OS to make it easier to spin it up, everything. And it's a bit hard to make it work on a Mac OS. So why I'm going in the details with the steps how you can set up on a Mac OS. But if you like understand how you can set up in Mac OS, it's like super easy to do in the Linux machines. Yeah. So first of all, we need a Docker machine. So when you install it in a Mac, usually they are coming together, Docker Compose, Docker machine, and Docker. And just you go on checking the version. So I already shared my slides in the conf engine, so everything you will have later. Just feel free to ping me if you have a question even later. Yeah. So and what we are really doing in a virtual box, we are creating the Linux machine, and inside the Linux machine we are creating all the other infrastructure. So the Docker machine, which is creates virtual box, and we are giving the name, and this is how the command running, and when it's like starting the VM, you will see this in your virtual box. Yep. So this means that we are locally, we create it in a virtual box, we create one Linux machine, and to be able later to use the, to create the visibility between this image and USB ports, we need to enable the USB port. For that, we need to stop the machine, and then we need to turn on the USB. So this virtual machine will have the visibility to the USB ports. You will need to install the USB 2.0 controller, which is like there is an extension pack. You can download it and install it if you have an issue with it. So basically, it's done. You can do it from the UI also. You just go to property, you go to ports, USB, you just tick this box, which says that we are enabling USB port for this machine. And after that, we're just saying the start Appium machine. And here we have the machine, which has the visibility with the ports. After this all, we need to connect the device. And when you connect the device to the host machine and coming to the same configuration page, you will see there that which kind of the devices are connected to it. And we are adding the Android to this machine, so which creates the visibility to the device and the machine. Yeah. So as we are going to run the test like through the Docker machine, we need to kill our local ADB server and connect it from inside the Docker machine, which we are killing, and then we are just doing the Docker machine SSH to the Appium test machine, and here we are, and then we are executing the command ADB devices from the inside the Docker virtual box. Yes, and when we do this, it says that there is an attached device, which is actually attached to your host, and there is a bridge connected to the machine. Yeah. So right now we have the virtual machine, which is connected, and the phone connected to the virtual machine. Like after the command running, you will see on your screen that it's USB debugging wants to connect. You just need to press allow as usual. Yeah. So after this one, there is a Dockerized Appium container, which we can run with the Docker run command, and this will create a container with the Appium. Yeah. When you run this, okay, you will see that the container Appium is running on the specific port, and it's ready to use after the run. Yeah. So right now we have everything ready to run the test through the Docker Appium. But as the Appium server is living inside the Docker machine, we need to give the visibility of the APK file. So it should have a visibility to take and install on a device. Yeah. So this is the command where you can just copy the file to inside to the container. So this is copying specific file and moving it to the specific location in the container. So we are moving it to the OPT, and then the name is the Pixar APK. Yeah. And after this, we just need to show that here our application is here, and the rest is the capabilities that you used to do. And then we're just running the tests, I'm just mapping to the Docker run. So, yeah. So this is the situation when I connect the real device to the host machine. I created the virtual box. Inside the virtual box, there is a Docker Appium running. I move the application file to the Docker container to have the visibility, and then point my tests to that server, and it's run through the Docker. Is it clear what we are talking about? No? It's really fun. Yeah. The running test is from the local machine. Yeah, it's in local machine. So as I said in the beginning, there is a way also to Dockerize the test runner part, but that's another story. It's not related to it. Yeah? Good. So I believe that all of you know about the Selenium host, Selenium hub grid. So when you want to connect this Appium server, which is running inside the Docker, to the specific Selenium host, while you are running the Docker run command, you just need to connect to the grid. True. We are passing the Appium host. We are passing the Appium port, and then Selenium host on the port. And with passing these parameters, we'll connect it like it's the same command with the specific parameters. We are connecting the specific Appium server to the Selenium host. And to not every time collect this, do you know what is the Docker compose? It's just a way of easy running the Docker containers. You just collect all your parameters inside the YAML file, and you just call Docker compose up, and it creates all the infrastructure for you with the Dockers. So there is also an example of it. In the end, I will share with you the GitHub link where I have like some small framework created in the page objects pattern, and there's also all these files that you can reuse it. So we just call Docker compose up. You see that in this Docker compose, we say that we will need one Selenium hub, and we will need an Android Appium, which depends on Selenium hub, which means that when you call Docker compose up, it will up the Selenium hub, and it will wait until it succeeds. And then after that, this dependency talks about that. After that, it will start to run the Appium and make the connection. Yeah. And after that, you will have all the Selenium hub and then Appium registered in the Selenium hub. Later in the end, I will show the working example. There is a way to connect your device via Wi-Fi to the host. Did you try it ever? Does it work for you? Yeah. As long as you have a stable Wi-Fi connection in the office, that's the cool stuff. You are putting somewhere and charging, and then connecting via Wi-Fi, and then you don't care about the phone. Yeah, there are some, but if you do the basic stuff, it's like with the Appium, it worked for me. This is the steps how you can do it. It's just a fun and the easy stuff that you can do, and then in a certain situation you can use it. You just call the command adb TCP IP on the 555 where the adb lives, and then you turn off your phone from the host machine, and then you do adb connect and the device IP, and then when you do the adb devices, you will see your device there without connecting to the host machine physically. Yeah. And yep, this is the steps how you can do it. Yep, you just do this adb TCP IP, and then it will start successfully, and then connect to the IP. And then adb devices, you will see just instead of the ID, you will see your device ID, the device IP here. And after that, you can like just the same way run the tests. This is connected with the Wi-Fi, and it's doing all. You will see that it's running the device with the IP, not the ID. So. Good. Here we are. It just run. All these tests that I'm showing you here, the codes are available in a GitLab. It's public. So you can go to my GitHub account and just see the code and the test that I wrote here. Okay, now it's the like more fun part when we create the emulators inside the Docker container and then connecting to the same Appium server, which makes it completely Dockerized. So this is also why we need to do this. This is to run our mobile on the website. Like it works for the mobile apps on the websites. It runs unit tests in any time you want, and then it can run Appium, Espresso, Robotium. It's not only Appium, and then it's run monkey tests, thread tests, and the SMS testing. So this is again open source project, and there is a link under it. So if you want to go to the details, more specific documentation, you just click on the link and you will see all the documentation there. Actually, this is the project that has the integration with the Genymotion. Yeah. So these advantages is that you don't need a VNC anything. You will see your emulator inside your browser, just connecting by the port. And there is the ability to connect again to the Selenium grid. It supports also real device, so you can connect your real device and the screen will be visible inside the web page. Again, no VNC. There is the ability to record all the run of the tests. It's integrated also like with the cloud solutions like the Genymotion cloud, and it's open source, so we are open to contribute them. So there is but specific amount of the emulators that you can create here. So it's mainly then all the Nexus phones and the Galaxy S7, S7 Edge, and the S6. This is the capacity that you can use. These are all available for it. So how we are running it? Here there is one tricky stuff. You cannot do this on a Mac because it needs a nested visualization on. You need a Linux machine here. All the recordings that I'm showing here, it was created on the Ubuntu machine, and it's work fast and easy there, but no way to do it on the Mac. Just make sure that all the machines that you are using the nested visualization is on. There is also in the documentation that written. So we are running it. We are mapping the 6080 port. We are mapping the 2 ports for the ADBs, and then giving the name of the device. And in this particular example, we are running Samsung Galaxy S6, and it's run. It needs some time, and then inside the browser, you are connecting to the host IP with the 6080 port, and you will see your emulator inside the browser, giving there. Yeah, it's super easy, fast, and it's really easy to spin up the environment to run the test. Yep. I didn't get. Yep, you can. You can run in several containers. Oh, I don't think that it's the best idea, but yep. You can use the general machine cloud. Of course, the solution coming here. But in every container, we are spinning up the one emulator, and it's isolated, and it has specific port. And it has specific port for each container, so to see like specific emulator. So if you want to connect the real device, you do the same. You just call the real device Docker containers, and then connecting your real device to the host machine, and you will see the screen sharing inside the browser as you see for the emulator. And if you want to control the device inside the Docker container, we just connecting with the ADB, giving the host and then the port, and you will control through the ADB inside the Docker container. Yeah? So you have access from your host machine to do that. Yeah. Okay. So there is another thing to how you can simulate the SMS. So it's super easy. You in this case you just you just take the authentication token from the container, and then you are doing the telnet container IP and 5554, and then authenticate it with the authentication token copied upstairs, and then sending the SMS. I don't know why the fonts get smaller, but they were equal. There was a time that they were equal. So it's super easy. So you can copying authentication token, and then we are telnet to localhost, and then 5554. And when it's connected, they're saying it's okay. We are authenticating with the token that we already got from there. Just authenticate, and that's all. And then you are sending the SMS. Yeah. SMS send, you are giving the number which from it will send, and then you are giving some text, and then just you get the SMS. So this is really makes the easy to test the scenarios when you need some SMS configuration, or you need some SMS token to send, and then your application have to read from the SMS. Yeah, sometimes when it's sending the verification code, there is a feature that it can automatically refill from the SMS. So this part can be used for testing that kind of scenarios. So Selenium Hub, we already talked a bit before, but let's go a bit deeper here. So everyone, I guess, know about the Selenium Hub. Is a smart proxy server which is controlling the connected browsers and also Android devices. So to run the Selenium Hub is this is the basic command. This is the project where Diego was contributing, talking about today. And yeah, when you run it, you get it up. And after that, so let's just revise what we have all together. So we have the Appium, use the Appium Docker emulator and the Selenium grid. Yes, till now we talk about it. So let's combine all these solutions to have the one solution how we can all together run. This is the Docker compose file for this case. If you take a look, we have the Selenium Hub, we have an Appium, and we have the emulator, which means that when we just run this Docker compose up, it automatically will create these three containers, and they will have the visibility to each other. Yeah. So this is like Docker compose up, the minus there is like hiding the log, and then it creates the Selenium Hub. When it's done, it creates the Appium server, and then after that it creates the emulator, and after that we have these 3 containers running on the spot. When we run this one, and then we go localhost 444, so which is the Selenium hub, you will see here that there is one available Android device waiting for the test. And of course, you can do it more. Like every container can be connected to the emulator, and then all together can be a node in the Selenium hub. Yeah, and here what you see, this is the VNC connected from the browser. You see the Appium server is running there, and the device is ready to run the tests. Yeah. And then we just run the tests and see what's happening there. You are. Yeah. So all the tests are passed inside the Docker through the Android Docker. So this is the main part. I would like to show you also. Where is my mouse? The GitHub, where you can find all the examples. Just on the spot. There is an Appium page objects. So here you can find all the codes that I used. There is two Docker Compose files. One is the last one that we. This is the first one, which is for the real device. And the next one is the. And next one. Oops, yeah. I opened the same one. Yeah, and the next one is the last one, which is creating the Selenium hub, Appium server, and then the emulator. And yep, and here you can see all the code and the configurations that you will need. And like, if you have any question, just ping me. Okay. How I can actually share this one. I will put this one, the link of this to the conf engine. Okay. Good. So if you have a question, just go ahead. Yep.
You're using real device, and it's not.
Yeah. The virtual, yeah. Because of the Appium server, which is running in the Docker, it has some issue with the Mac OS. So we are with the VirtualBox. I'm creating the Linux machine, and inside the Linux, then making the Docker container. So directly to the Mac OS, there is some issues, and I connect it also to the contributors, and they created some steps how to do with the VirtualBox. Yeah. The same issue is there. If yeah, which doesn't work on the Mac machine, also. Let me find. I was like digging into a bit more, and then I talked to the contributors who were creating it, and they said that you need to use the one. Let me find out. Okay. So the main part when I was, this was the main source, of course, and here is, you can see that setting up on Mac OS is going to the virtual machine. I was creating this one already 5 months ago, and I was digging into the reason, but I don't remember right now what was the exact reason. But later I can like revise the memory and find out if I will like duplicate the same stuff, I will remember what was the issue. But the fact was that there was impossible to connect it to the make it work the Docker container originally on the Mac. So we use this way. Yep. Any other questions? Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. No. Yeah. I create like the PC and install their like Ubuntu server, and then just SSH to that machine and create all the stuff there, which is like simpler. And the same thing, if you use the same machine, you can use the Docker-Android without the Docker VirtualBox. So it can work also there. So you can have one powerful machine and put everything there. So there is also a possibility to do exactly the same in the clouds, but if you are going to pay to the cloud, it's better to use the cloud emulators, which is like faster and easier. So. Any other questions? No? No? Okay. So, last but not least, this is my contacts. In any case you want to contact me, any question, anything to discuss, how we do any experience sharings, I will be happy to chat with you, to find a solution together and then exchange the experience. Thank you very much for coming. I hope this was useful for you guys. And this is the use, if you are interested in just use the presentation step by step, you can go. I try to do it in like on a sequence of the steps to make it work in your machines. So after it works on your machines, later you can develop and make it nicer and a better solution for you. But this is just the basic steps how you can start to working with it. Thank you very much for coming.